Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you how I do a braid out on my hair using Inahsi Naturals. So as you can see, my hair is limp. It needs to be done and I need to style it up, so I decided to do a braid out, which turned out looking extremely lovely. So if you like the way my hair looks, make sure you stay tuned. I did use their products to wash my hair, but for this particular style I'm going to use their Aloe Hibiscus Leave-In Conditioner and Detangler, which is great for kinky, curly, wavy, and straight hair. And as you can see, this leave-in conditioner is very thick. It's very rich, and my hair absolutely loves thick products because they just seem to work so well on my hair. But what I'm going to do is just massage this leave-in conditioner into my hair. Now I did notice you don't need a lot of product when you're using their line, but you just want to make sure you use enough to moisturize your hair. But a little bit goes a long way with their line. Then I'm going to follow up with the Rock Your Curls Curl Enhancing Cream, which is great for kinky, curly, wavy, and straight hair. And as you can see, this is another thick product of theirs. It doesn't even move until you actually touch it. And again, I absolutely love that. But I'm just going to use this to also moisturize my hair and help to give it some curl definition. Next, I'm going to use their Island Breeze Hair and Body Whipped Butter, which is great for kinky, wavy, and curly hair. And I'm going to use this as their sealant. On their label it says it's great for sealing in the moisture. So I'm just going to use a little bit of this and just melt it in my fingers. And this will be the last product I use before I start to braid my hair. With this particular product, you do not need a lot of it, so just grab literally a small amount and just use it to seal in the moisture that you just applied from the curl enhancing cream and the leave-in conditioner. Next, I'm going to use my wide tooth comb, and if you prefer to use a detangling brush, that's fine as well. And you want to just make sure you start from the bottom and work your way up. So you're going to be starting from the ends of your hair and working your way up to the roots toward the scalp. Now you want to make sure you are doing smaller sections just so it's a lot easier and quicker for you to detangle your hair. As you can see, I had to make this section a little smaller because my hair is just so thick. So definitely start off with smaller sections to make this process a lot easier for you. Once you realize that your hair has been properly moisturized and detangled, you want to go ahead and start to braid your hair. And you can make your braids how big or how small you'd like. Just know that the smaller the braid, the more curl definition, and the larger the braid, you won't have as much definition, but you'll have more of like a chunky braid out. So once I get to the end, I leave a little bit of the hair unbraided so that I can use my perm rods. And I'm using the yellow ones, the really tiny ones. And I'm just going to take a little bit more of the curl enhancing cream, just apply it to the ends to make sure they're really defined when I take down the perm rods. And I'm just going to separate this particular braid into two because it was actually kind of thick and I really want to make sure I get that great curl definition. So I'm just going to use two perm rods on the end of this braid. If you're going to use perm rods, make sure that you use the smaller ones. Do not use the medium or the large size perm rods because you will not get that definition that you're looking for. So make sure you use very small perm rods. They don't necessarily have to be the yellow ones, but get the tiny ones, whatever color they come in. Alright, so I finished all of the braids, and as you can see, some of the braids have one perm rod and then there are a couple that have two perm rods on the end. And I finished this up, it didn't take too long, and this is what the back looks like as well. And as promised, I did count the braids this time around. I know I have a bad habit of not counting, but this time I did. and I actually ended up with 32 braids all around. Now if you did this style at night and you need your hair to air dry, make sure you cover your hair with a satin or silk bonnet, and if you prefer you can use a pillowcase as well. Make sure it's satin or silk, but I prefer to use a bonnet because I like for all the braids to be pulled away from my face while I'm sleeping. It's the next day and I'm actually getting a little help from my hubby on this. Thank you so much. I love you, babe. I actually need a little help because I was just having a hard time taking down the braids, but look at the curl definition on that particular braid. I did have some great curl definition on some of the braids, but there were a few that did come out a little fuzzy or a little frizzy. And you just saw that I applied a little bit of my homemade oil blend to my fingertips just to help me take down the braids. Now going back to the parts that are a little frizzy, I believe it's because the braids were just too small for my hair. I just had a hard time taking them down, so I ended up actually having to use this little tool right here, which is actually a brush cleaner, but I had to use that in order to take down some of the smaller braids. But because they were so tiny, I spent a lot of time touching my hair, which caused it to lose a lot of the curl definition. But for the most part, a lot of them came out great and soft and bouncy, and they had a lot of movement. So this is what it looks like when all of the braids have been taken down and all the perm rods are gone. As you can see, some of the braids came out really well. Then there are a few that are still a little fuzzy, but that's okay. I'm gonna work it. And so I'm using my pick here to just lift the roots, and that gives, you know, that great volume and that great fullness that you're looking for to make your hair look a lot fuller. So because I had to go take care of some mommy duties, I just quickly fluffed my hair and separated it, and then I had to go run out, and so I'll be right back. And this is my hair 6 to 7 hours later, and I'm just applying a little bit more of my oil blend just to separate and fluff my hair out so that I can get that nice full bouncy curly look that I'm going for. Though you want to separate and fluff your hair, you don't want to do too much to your hair because again you want to make sure you still keep that pretty curl definition that you have. So just only do a few sections just to make your hair look fuller. This is what my hair looked like after I was done separating and fluffing it out. I'm just kind of playing around with it to see what look I really like. So I just pulled a few pieces to the front, but if you prefer to pull it back so your face can shine a lot more, that's also great. There are so many styles that you can do with the braid out. But I actually like the fuzziness that was in my hair because it just made the whole look come together and look a lot more natural. Sometimes I just don't like that perfect looking braid out or that perfect looking twist out because to me they're beautiful, but they just don't look natural, at least for what I'm going for. So I did appreciate the little bit of fuzziness that was in there because it just made the whole look come together. Alright, so that's pretty much it. If you enjoyed this quick little tutorial, please give this video a thumbs up and let me know in the comment section. I had such a great time doing this braid out. As mentioned before, it's been a very long time since I've done one, so I'll definitely continue to do a braid out. I just love the way they turned out. Please follow me on Instagram at The4cProject. Thanks so much for your support, and I'll see you in my next video.